ashes burn in the stone, and night it's our turn.
All right, so Sabine wins the first battle and has initiative.
Very relevant.
So I don't know, is Sabine winning the card sleeve competition? Do we prefer plain blue or the Star Wars Unlimited sleeves?
Star Wars ones are nice. I like outer sleeves on them personally.
I will say, for the purpose of streams, having some art on it like that makes it so much easier to count what resources they're
True.
at. When it's all monocolor like this, it's so much harder to see what they've got. I'm gonna give it to Sabine on the card sleeves. That's my tiebreaker.
Sabine definitely has a fancier deck with a Showcase Sabine and Hyperspace ECL. I believe that was a mulligan from Cad Bane. So Sabine kept their original, Cad Bane mulled, and will now resource their 2. I presume we'll see a turn 1 play from Sabine.
After you mulligan, Red Dragon, do you tell your opponent you're keeping? I do it every time. I don't know. I can't help myself.
Yeah, I never noticed I did that until you said that.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I'll keep this one.
It's the Magic player coming out.
It is. Yeah. All right. Okay. This is a shielded unit at the start. Really nice. We're gonna be able to trade into that as the CAD player and still have some material on the board.
Ping from Sabine will allow Cad to pick up the initiative and will mean that the Battlefield Marine will die to the Crafty Smuggler's shield, most likely.
Yeah, I would have claimed there and gotten that 1 attack in. So we'll see. When things like that happen, maybe nerfs get to you or something. When I noticed it as a player, I tend to jot down like a little note, like -2 or something like that on my paper. So at the end of the game, I can ask myself, did it matter? If I had gotten that 2 damage, would I have won?
Yeah.
All right. Carlos and Diana. Yeah.
So we did see the Crafty Smuggler take out the Battlefield Marine. That will lead into a Boba Fett unit landing, pinging the Sabine with a Cad Bane trigger, and the Sabine picking up the initiative this time. And then the Tarkin Town to finish the Sabine. So Cad Bane has a dominant ground presence, with base damage being equal across the 2.
Yeah.
Which is a very ideal start for Cad Bane, as he is prepared to take out the Sabine deploy. And with her list having no dark sabers, he will not have to worry extensively about an instant answer to Sabine.
I'm wondering, it could be that Diana is maybe trying to get Carlos to use Tarkin Town on a ground unit. Maybe has a space heavy hand to follow this up with. We'll see if she starts deploying to space this turn.
Would definitely be a very beneficial move. It seems like this may be a Forlom though.
With a ping. Excellent play from Carlos.
Very clean answer to Sabine. Now, if it is a space heavy hand, I think the Cad deck has a chance to race from this position.
For sure. Oh, okay. That is pretty unfortunate. Diana left with only the option of filtering the top of her deck, trying to set up her future turns, but otherwise not impacting the board.
I believe that's also a 3 damage because the Daring Raid was the first card milled. Might be
price to pay
incorrect.
for those Daring Raids.
Yeah, it was 3 damage, unfortunately. Seems the draw was not what the Sabine deck has wanted, with a unit light hand making it up.
We have ECL still. So a Poe can come down this turn, take out the Forlom with the discard and take out the Boba unit to try and clean up that ground and maybe make some room for Diana to have a chance here.
Would then set up for potentially a record the following turn. We will see a daring raid to take out the Forlom, which cleans up the board a little bit, which is progress in the right direction. Followed by a K2SO.
Yeah, we've still got the CAD activation. We could see a McClunky bouncing a shielded unit and finishing it off after we activate CAD. Particularly with Java coming down. That's what I'm expecting to see here from Carlos.
Yeah.
He has the option of... yeah, I think he'd return the shielded unit. Yeah.
I think with that one getting the 2 damage in before the Boba, that would make the most sense. He did find the McClunky on the Jabba, so there's a almost 100% chance that gets played now.
Yeah. You have the option of returning the Jabba, but in this matchup, we're not as interested in continuing to get value out of Jabba.
Agreed. Although the 2/2 is a lot cheaper to get back out, which is helpful.
Right.
And I think the Jabba in play to continue making tricks cheaper might be of benefit.
Yeah.
So 3 to base from the Boba Fett. Pushing the Sabine to most likely claim this turn.
I think she claimed after the Jabba.
She pinged after the Jabba.
Oh, okay, you're right. So
she did get the 1 damage in on the ping.
All right, my bad.
K2 will hit base for 3. We are on to the next turn. So 5 damage in play with a Cad Bane flip for the potential of 4 more, meaning that Sabine can be up to 22 damage if the board goes unanswered.
Still haven't seen a big ECL play. At this point, we could see Wrecker come down and clean up the Boba units. But then
Wrecker
Jabba's so big. Wrecker
could put 5 on the Jabba and overwhelm 4. But I don't know if the base at 13 is going to be a fast enough close. Although the Boba isn't able to kill the Jabba or kill a Wrecker in 1 attack. You would need a CAD trigger.
Let's see if Diana's, because the ambush isn't that profitable, it looks like she's electing to not use it.
She opted to destroy the 1 resource, kill the Boba Fett, save the ambush. I think it is of benefit. I don't think overwhelming the damage is of much merit, and keeping the Wrecker healthy gives it a better chance of surviving the turn and potentially hitting for 7 on the base.
Yeah.
She has a lot of potential burn with daring raids and 4 causes in her deck.
I don't expect the Wrecker to survive the turn. So it's still going to be a tough game here. Looks like Carlos has some options, trying to figure out his best lines. On the CAD flip turn, one thing you're looking to do is use the front side and the unit side of CAD. Play 2 Underworld cards. Did you see the other card that was in Diana's hand?
It was the Wrecker and Rebel Pathfinder, I believe.
Okay. So, what are we looking for here? Oh, there we go.
Very clean answer to Wrecker, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Diana, it does seem like Carlos will have... It is lethal on board now.
And that was Cloud Rider 3/1 ambush. That's Underworld. So CAD forces Diana to put 2 damage on Wrecker, and then the 3 ambush finishes it off. Yep, we've got lethal on the board.
It'll be an ECL K2 to kill the Bazine.
Yeah, we've still got lethal on the board, so
Indeed.
with 2 resources left, I think that's going to close this game. And Carlos, just not even spending, it's just attack, and if you have something, you have something.
And that will be the last attack, sending us to game 2. Sabine will have the initiative once again. Sideboards from the Sabine player, we're looking at a 1 metal rebel ceremony, 1 rebel assault, 1, can't quite make out the name, but it's 2 copies of the 1-drop that removes sentinel.
Spec Force Soldier.
Thank you. Spec Force Soldiers, 1 timely intervention, 1 bright hope, 2 general Dodona, and 2 Adelphi. What are you bringing in here?
This is interesting. Cad does such a great job of cleaning up our early board. So it's really hard to get a lot of value out of these metal ceremonies. It's hard to get multiple attacks early in the game to build those up. And similarly, it's hard to have a wide board for General Dodona to make a big impact. Rebel Assault is good. If you have the 2 units, you start with initiative, you can go ahead and get your 2 attacks in. I do like that. And I like the Adelphi Patrol Wing. It's a chunkier unit. It's in space, which, as we saw last game, Cad doesn't have as much interacting in space. He's not spaceless, but it's a good arena to be in for her.
Switching over to Carlos's sideboard, we see 2 copies of Daring Raid, 2 copies of Sneak Attack, 1 Bazine, 3 Lurking TIE Phantoms, 1 Change of Heart, and 1 Fennec Shand, Loyal Sharpshooter. What are you thinking on his board?
I was gonna put the pressure on you. What do you think?
Oh, what do I think? I think most of it is unnecessary. I think his deck has a really strong start all around. I think the Bazine's worth coming in on the play, but not on the draw. The Lurking Ties aren't really needed. The Change of Heart's not grabbing anything. I think Fennec comes down too late. The Daring Raids, I think, are good to bring in because it gives you the ability to get your ping off and then have a Daring Raid to clean up a unit at the end. But I don't know if it's better than something that's already in. I'm assuming cutting 2 Ruthless Raiders for something cheaper might be worth it. But
yeah, I'm cutting the Daring Raids. I mean, I'm bringing in the Daring Raids here, I think. Did we see if she has sabers?
She does not have sabers. And
Okay.
I don't know if we ever got an answer on whether or not players see opposing deck lists at the start.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, I think I would bring in the 2 Daring Raids, and I might trim some of that top end. Like maybe go to 2 Cad Bane units instead of 3. Maybe go to 2 Jabba units instead of 3. The Jabba unit isn't quite as impactful in this matchup, I think. I mean, it's not a bad card. It still can fetch a removal spell for you that you can play that same turn. But I would trim a little bit and bring in those 2 Daring Raids.
I think Daring Raid also gives a couple more options on if Sabine lane dodges you on your turn 1 play. You have a little more ability to make sure you can Tarkin Town off whatever unit it is if need be.
Yeah, it lets you perhaps get your ping, kill with Daring Raid, and then on the next turn get your ping, kill with Tarkin Town. So take out 2 early plays. So even post board, I'm still liking the Cad matchup a lot. And let's see how it goes. See if Diana can take a game here and put some pressure on Carlos to have to win.
It's much like last game, we get a Battlefield Marine to open up on the Sabine side. And a Greedo follow-up. Not quite as good as the Crafty Smuggler, but it does trade with a turn 1 play if they want.
This is where if he has Daring Raid, that's exactly That's exactly what he's looking for. So now he'll be able to kill the next unit with Tarkin Town and get a really quick tempo start here.
Greedo is set up to kill something in the future, probably not anytime soon, if an underworld ping is possible on this turn 3 play. So a daring raid back from the Sabine player to kill the Greedo will clear the board for both players. And now it's the decision of, do you dedicate or pass for the ping? So he has opted to pass the potential of pinging, to play a punishing one and get the 1 damage on the battlefield marine. And Tarkin Town will finish it, just like you had said.
Yeah, I mean, this is our playbook. There's nothing else we're looking to do but exactly this, if we're the CAD player.
So CAD is definitely very happy with the start so far. Sabine is looking to bring some of the bigger, more powerful units to the table later. Bright Hope will pause the punishing one, but unfortunately will not apply much pressure to CAD.
Yeah, it's gonna end up trading with punishing one, which is fine for her. She might have even brought in a Bright Hope from the sideboard. So I think he's looking for a 4-LOM here. We'll see if he finds it. Either that or another nice play could be Jabba into Maclunky, but
4-LOM would unfortunately not quite kill the Sabine, but it would put the 4 damage on.
We're still gonna do it. we're still gonna play it. And it's another situation where if we have the daring raid, we just get to clear out that space unit.
So no damage on either base. Board relatively even right now, although it's accounting for Sabine's leader flipped out. So I would say Sabine player is definitely a little behind, just because once that leader leaves, it's not looking great. But there is the potential that it could trade off the whole board. Don't think Carlos would let that happen, but it is possible.
Yeah, I mean, last game, we saw some turns where Diana really wanted to play the board and wasn't able to, like an early 4-Cause I Believe in. But we might not see that this game. We might see some of the more powerful lines available in this deck, like playing out that Poe, playing out that Wrecker right on curve. Let's see if she has it this time.
A Poe on board would be very nice in cleaning off both units, maintaining a Poe at 2 health left. Prevents an unflipped CAD from killing it in 1 shot.
Yeah, it'd be great to ECL that out, clear the board, and have 3 units. This could be a daring raid. No, it's a Maclunky. Okay.
Very nice Maclunky play.
Yeah.
Well timed. Maclunky is going to resolve, kill the Bright Hope, and the ping is going to finish off the Sabine. The 4-LOM is now protected from a potential Poe ECL, so Poe is not the greatest option anymore. Although 6/6 onto this board is harder to answer. You'll see a Rebel Pathfinder. No when played effect.
Fleet Lieutenant.
Ugh, you're right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sabine
tough.
almost played a Green Squadron, but it does die to the Ruthless Raider, unfortunately.
She has to ask herself, do I just feed this to the punishing one or what? And yes.
Will be fed to the punishing one. Saves the 3 health on base. Will allow Sabine to pick up the initiative here.
And I'll tell you this is how my testing has gone with CAD versus Sabine. If you want to beat Sabine, this is an excellent option.
It's a very unfortunate matchup for the Sabine player.
Yeah. I think Diana, looking at this bracket, not what she was hoping for.
We're going to see a Cad Bane flip out this turn. Cassian was smuggled out for first action for 5 and has entered play ready.
Yeah, Carlos has the question of attacking into that to put it on 1 health remaining so that the ping kills it. Or just going to base. I mean, he has such a strong lead. It's at the point where he probably can just race in and finish the game. I think that's what I want to see from Carlos here, but let's see what decision he makes.
Decision to race does open up the potential of a Cassian attack on the leader and a Poe to clean up the entire ground side. Although I think a smuggled Bazine is going to give all the insurance needed. We're going to see a wing leader and a rebel assault, which are most likely to be left in hand, and they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think now a race is definitely the best option. Will be a rebel assault to have the Cassian get in for 4. And
yeah, leader's going to clean up the Cassian, our CAD leader, and have a very commanding board here. Oh, look, Diana, she's not going to go out without a fight. She's still going to use that Sabine ping. It doesn't matter.
every turn you can, send it in.
Yes.
4 to base from Forlom. We do have the potential of a Maclunky coming down after CAD flip to clean up the Cassian and bring that
Ooh.
Bazine back.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cat's going to the base.
Yes, so we do have the Maclunky pick the Bazine back up. It's going to kill the Cassian and finish it with the Cad Bane ability. Which is going to give a commanding presence on board and the ability to block out Diana. I believe in... Is it lethal on board right now? We have 11 on board. Not quite. But Sabine can be put to 23.
I do expect that he boarded in the Daring Raids, so could very well have lethal on the board.
So we know one was played. The chance of the second one being drawn could mean that lethal is present.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, hitting that second one's not unlikely. Oh,
Not
we're
at
gonna
all.
help. We're gonna help just a little bit.
So now shoot first has the potential of being lethal. So
Right.
Forlom will get in for 4, bring it to 17. See if the Sabine player has been able to draw the top end that this deck does have. It is a powerful top end, but unfortunately it is only 2 cards.
I think this stage of the game, Diana's asking, how much style do I want to go out with? And the answer is, I am wing leadering into your punishing one, and you can't stop me.
It is a play that keeps her alive for 1 more turn. Out of range to shoot first. I believe the CAD should have done 1 more damage. I believe that might be a
Yeah, I didn't see the
mishap.
health transition there. It's gonna be okay.
Diana will scoop it up to the Zuckus.